So now comes the hard part. I've been speaking at all of the Masses this weekend, but for this Mass in particular, I struggled with when to say these words. We want to celebrate Dacia's First Communion, and we have, and we will continue to do so. But I think I would be remiss if I did not say something about what the Church has been going through this past week. They know this is coming. I gave them a heads up. Obviously, I'm referring to the statewide grand jury report that was released. And I think the words from Paul's letter to the Ephesians say a lot. He says that we need to do the will of the Lord. But we might be asking ourselves the question, Lord, what is it you're up to? What is going on? Why are we going through all of this yet again? When I saw the papers on Thursday morning, the image that came to my mind was that of the victims and of a wound that doesn't heal, one that stays open and raw. This is not the first time that we have been through something like this, and although this current report doesn't specifically include Philadelphia, we are all too painfully aware of our own reports from 2005 and 2011. So I understand that there would be renewed and perhaps more intense anger and deep sadness and even a sense of betrayal. And this is not the time to offer a defense of any sort. And frankly, I don't think there is a defense anyway. So I think our question is this: Lord, what are you trying to tell us through the unfolding of these events? What is your will? It seems that at some level the Lord is purifying the church and church leadership. And obviously this purification is not yet over. Purification can be painful, and certainly what the church has experienced and continues to experience is painful for all of us, and for you, the lay people. I can only begin to imagine what it's like in your workplace or out in the community, especially those who aren't Catholic, and you're sharing that you are Catholic, and they're saying, well, why do you keep doing that? Why do you follow these people? I think in handling these cases in the past, the church saw it as its main concern preserving the institution first and foremost, and the care of victims did not have a primary place. I believe God is asking church leaders to see themselves in a different light now. And maybe we are being stripped of things so that we can learn to focus on Christ crucified and risen from the dead, and not the preservation of structures. The only way we can begin to see ourselves through, I think, is to cling to Christ and his message. Maybe the humbling experience of what we are going through can help the church put priorities in right order and refocus our vision more clearly on the gospel. The church began with a small group of poor and humble individuals who just wanted to follow Christ and share his word. Perhaps the Lord is calling us back to this humble beginning, to this foundation that we cling to as we allow the Lord to transform us. I ask each of you, the faithful of our parish, do not abandon your church. Do not abandon St. John Newman Parish. This parish is church for us. You may think to yourself, why should I listen to these people? They certainly don't practice what they preach. Yet it is only through your faithfulness during this storm, just as we experience storms in our own personal lives, that we can be renewed as God's people. We pray for healing for all victims and for all those touched by this crisis. I ask you to pray for me and for my brother priests that we may continue to preach the gospel of Christ to others. We need you more than ever before. We need your support more than ever. So let us appeal to our better angels to heal our church and truly live out Christ's call to humility and love. You are the church. We are the church. We priests are here to serve you. As I said to you on the day of my installation, this is your parish. This is our parish. In faith, we have trust in God, hopeful and confident that we will get through this together. The image that comes to me is one of my favorite from the New Testament. It's found in Mark's Gospel, chapter 4. The apostles are with Jesus in the boat. The storm is whipping up. The apostles are scared out of their mind. Jesus is asleep in the boat, and they're looking at him and saying, "Hello, there's a storm here. Can you do something? What's the matter with you?" He wakes up. He calms the storm. Peace and calm immediately come. But then he looks at the apostles and he says to them, "Why were you so afraid? Didn't you realize who was with you? Where is your faith?" We are like those apostles in the boat together, in the storm again. And I would say it's not a bad thing to picture ourselves there, as long as we know that we don't have the rudder of the boat. God does. And God's deciding where we're going to go. And we say, "Okay, I'll pull the oar, but you're steering this boat." And I'm okay with that. I'm going to trust in that. I don't have to know where we're going, but I'm going to follow you because you're going to get us beyond this. I know that. And that's where I'll find my peace. I don't have the answers to this. You don't have the answers to this. It's beyond us. And I don't pretend to share with you answers. These are not answers. We turn to our faith and we turn to Christ. We say to ourselves, well, there's nothing else we can do, but that's not such a bad thing, to realize that that's where we have to go. I thank all of you for the wonderful support that I have received here in the year that I have been here. It's been a very wonderful experience. And I ask you to continue to pray for me, and I will continue to pray for you. I thank you for listening to this.